Hello, good afternoon. I'm Liz. I'm one of the co-founders and I'm the CEO of Navi Digital and Tourism Tribe. And it's been my pleasure to present on this topic throughout the Queensland Biz Revival program on business strategy and product innovation. So let's focus on this session and the topic within this session. So these are the different things that I've presented on. Which has all been recorded. And then today we're looking at really the end part of the template that's been provided to you for business planning, which is about setting your strategies and actions. So that's what I'm going to share with you. And when I've presented these sessions, just to give you some context on the template, because I've done a fair amount of work in business planning and strategy, etc. I know that just thinking in these terms really helps. And when you're developing any kind of plan, what we need to do is say, where are we now? So sort of establish that benchmark of where you're at now in your business, where you want to get to. So what's those exciting goals that you want for your business? And then the strategy piece is how you're going to get there and those actions that you need to do. And then the fourth part is about sharing and communicating that plan so you can get buy-in from your team, whoever else you need to get buy-in from, whether that's your business partner, could be your bank manager, whatever. So very important piece to be able to communicate those plans. So the template that you have access to is structured in this way. And I'll go to the template in a moment live so that we'll be using it. And that is that we do the step one about establishing where you are now is the research and analysis piece, where we get you to point down or go and do a bit of research on market trends relevant to your business and industry, get down your competitors, who your current or potential partners are, value to the internal piece. What is the real value that you give to your customers? So why is it that they would buy or do buy from you? Document your current sales at a high level, because that's really helpful with the financial goal setting. Articulate your customers. So who is your target market? Develop personas or avatars for them. We'll give you access to templates to do this within the business planning course you have access to. And then we do a SWOT, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. We then go on to setting your values. So that, that first chunk there of where we are now, I took 4 sessions to work through that, because it is so important to establish that first, where you are now, to be able to work out where you want to get to and what have you learned through there. And it is not unusual for those of you who have quite new businesses or just starting up a business. It's really common that you don't have a fully fledged business plan when you first start out. You have your goals, you have your dreams, you're really enthusiastic, you put everything in place really practically. But until you've had a couple of years in business to know what is the real value and that you bring to your customers, who's your ideal customer, what is it that really sells and is profitable for you, it's pretty hard to develop a fully fledged business plan like this. So don't be feeling concerned if you think, oh, I've never had anything like this. And when you see this template, you'll see that it's very user-friendly. So it's guided through. You can download some business plan templates that you would just kill yourself out of boredom when you first look at them. So hopefully this one is a bit more engaging, and we do get good feedback on it. So we spent 4 sessions on that first part. Then last week we looked at setting your values as a business. What is it that you really hold important in terms of things like, could be environmental issues that you're really cognizant of in your processes and packaging or whatever for your business. It could be I'm sure it's got something to do with customer service and the way that you manage your customers. So what are those values that are really important to you? And then what's your vision? What's the long-term legacy you want to leave for your business? And then we got into setting goals, and they were SMART goals. So specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and they are time specific, or achievable and actionable and time specific. So all of the recordings cover that. And then today what we're moving in is looking at those goals and setting actions so that you actually move forward. And then the 1-page overview as well. So your courses is where you're going to find the business planning for revival. And so in your dashboard, and it's called Business Planning for Revival, that's this course and this template that we're using. And some of you are on the Navi website, some are on the Tourism Tribe website, but it's exactly the same template. And what I've done for today is I've actually done a bit of a mock-up of goals and actions, because I thought really we can talk theoretically a lot of the time, but really when it gets down to being able to leave you with a picture in your mind of what you could do with this template, I thought I'd put some imagined goals and actions in there to help you. So that's what we're going to be using. And I'm happy to share this link with you. I might just, great. Okay, so this is the template, and I've spoken to the other things. I'll just scroll back through here. So you'll see everything I just mentioned here is covered off here with little tips on how to complete it. And it's not meant to be war and peace. It's meant to be small business specific. So it's something that's quite doable for you. And really, the time it's going to take you to complete this depends on how much information you already have, whether you need to go and do research or whether you already have the answers. So that's all there for you. And where we're up to, we set goals in the last session, but now I've dummied up some goals. Now, what I've done here is I've stuck to sales goals, financial goals, because getting more sales and more customers would be the most common goal that we hear from businesses. And that's completely reasonable, isn't it? Considering that we need customers and sales to sustain our businesses. And to see growth in our business, we obviously want to see an increase in that. So I've imagined a goal for a business of increasing our customer sales by 100% by 30th of June. You see the SMART aspects of that because it is specific. We're saying sales, not profit. So that's what we've decided to measure with this goal. We're saying it's specific because it talks about 100%. It's got a time aspect to it because it has a date against it. So these are some of aspects of setting SMART goals. Is that achievable for this business? Don't know, because we have imagined the business. Is it relatable by the rest of the team? I expect so. So that because everyone understands sales, and they should. Even if you're working with a small team or a larger team, they should understand the importance of the sales and the revenue to the business. The second goal I've mocked up here is one that's very important to all businesses in the digital age, which is our Google review rating. So I've said, given we know the importance of that, and you would have, any of you who are doing BizKeeper 101 or 202, when we talk about marketing strategy, or you might have looked at the online reputation course, this is the #1 foundation in your marketing is establishing a great online review rating and generally a reputation for your business, not just online. So we've set a goal there, specific, saying Google reviews, 4.5 average star rating by the 31st of December. And then the third goal we've set is appearing above the fold. So that's before people scroll in relevant Google search queries by the 31st of December. So once again, we've got aspects there of it being specific and time specific and relatable, etc. Because there's no point in having a great business in the digital age if we aren't able to be found when people search, and it's very competitive. We don't want to, it's unlikely that you're going to be able to rank against big brand names who are buying a lot of digital advertising in Google at the very top, but for specific searches, what we call long tail searches, this is within all of our reach. And any of you who have watched or are going to watch any of the search engine optimization or website specific short sessions like this, you will have learned a lot about that from those sessions or from your course material. So I just thought they're three very usual, very common goals we would see that are very fundamental ones. So I've used those. When we're doing business planning, we don't want to have too many goals. We want to keep it nice and focused and no more than 3, even if you just got 1. If we were working in the corporate environment, we'd then blow these out into quite well articulated strategies. And because we want this document template to be really user friendly, we don't do that. We move from goals to actions. And those actions, let's call them actions and activities. Some of them are going to look like strategies. Some of them are going to look like one-off tasks. Some of them are going to look like regular tasks. And you know what? It doesn't matter as long as you understand them and you have got things in this table that are actionable by you and you've put a priority against them. So to achieve these goals, and I'm sure you'll be able to see me joining the dots between them, the first thing that I'd be recommending if you had if you'd done a business plan, if you hadn't already done this, and given that one of the goals is about appearing above the fold for relevant Google search queries, that implies some work to be done on the website and search engine optimization. So then a task or a new activity would be reviewing my website and developing a prioritized list of improvements for my customer personas and the desired user journey we want them to take. You've got access to all the knowledge on what this means through Making My Website the Best It Can Be course on your dashboard, and also BizKeeper 101. So I'm not throwing something at you here that we haven't provided some information about on how to do it. And for me, the importance of having a rock star website for your business, a really best possible website for your business, is so important that I would rank that as a number one, because it's your most important digital asset in your business. And we need it. It's the one digital asset, and the data within it, the content within it, you completely own that, as opposed to, say, social media content, for example. So it's a really important action or activity that we would see in this list. Then you would implement the website functionality improvements. So once you've done the review, then you'd get those improvements done. Then you'd look at the content improvements, once again, for your customer personas and ideal search queries that they would typically be what they would use in Google to find services or products like yours. If you want to grow your sales, one of the strategies that is absolute, once you've got your website sorted, one of the strategies that we look to is to not rely on Facebook alone or on Google searches alone to be able to get more customers, because one of the things here, remember, is growing sales. So that implies we've got to get more customers. So one of the activities that you might do after you've got the basics of your website sorted is look at implementing a lead magnet on your website and a customer database or customer relationship management system. Now, BizKeeper 101 and BizKeeper 202 courses, both, it refers to it and it shows you how to do it in BizKeeper 202, because this is one of the mechanisms, you know, when you go onto a website and a pop-up comes up with a really great offer, sometimes it's a great piece of content that's going to be really useful to you to download it. Sometimes it's a voucher. But the technique that's happening there is you think about the cost, the investment of your time and money to actually develop a great website, have it appear in a Google search, or attract somebody over from Facebook or Instagram, a post or a reel or something they've seen on Instagram, and you've got them over to your website. They're not ready to buy from you yet, but let's see if we can't get their email address and get them engaging with us. So that's why I've got that one down here as a suggestion. Then I've also suggested here, because of the need in this dummy businesses scenario to lift their Google review ratings to 4.5, because we always need to be trying to edge towards that complete overall 5-star review, is to implement review management procedures. Now that is covered in Online Reputation Management course, and it's also talked about within BizKeeper 101 in lesson 2. So we cover it in 2 places because we really didn't want you to miss it. And that's where one of the parts of that lesson is showing you not only ideas and tactics that people use to generate more reviews, but how to respond to reviews and how to develop a review management procedure with goals and processes in it, so that you can consistently manage reviews and move towards that high level. And then what I've suggested then, to sort of put a bit of icing on the cake of all of these really fundamental pieces, considering the goals we have, is developing a content and social media plan. Keeping it simple, but what are my content themes that my ideal customers relate to? So I've done those customer personas. What do they relate to? What are my 5 or 7 content themes on social media? And what does my plan look like? Am I posting once a day on both Facebook and Instagram? Or which channels am I using? So nutting out a simple plan so that you can then be consistent with your social media. And you'll see how I have prioritized these things, because in my mind and working with other businesses, I see that, you know, like I said, the website's fundamentally important. The review management, the online reputation is fundamentally important. Once we've done that website review, then we can move forward with the improvements. And then I've got prioritized at number 3, the lead magnet and customer relationship management system, and then developing a content and social media plan. And if I were working with you in a live workshop, and I've really sort of jumped to the end here, but that would be the kind of thing we would work through for your business, would be, what do I need? What are my goals? So that's why we structure this little session, you know, giving you the template that you can work through yourself, to sort of pop out the real goals for your business that are largely going to come from the work that's done in the template above here, particularly the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats will be helpful there to be able to come up with those goals. And I'm not familiar with all of your businesses. So you might be looking at these and go, oh, no, that's not, I've already got that sorted, or that's not for me. But I've just tried to put something together that is logical, so that it gives you a bit of food for thought to utilise it yourself if that's what you would like to do. So so that's what I wanted to cover in the presentation piece. For those of you who are going to use the template and are developing a business plan using the template, your homework from this session will be to complete section 7 of your business plan, but then develop the 1-page plan. So I'll just show you that. I love this document. So you've done the hard yards of doing the detailed plan. How are you going to communicate it? How are you going to sit with business partner or your life partner and take them through it? Family, friends, somebody you're trying to get to invest, maybe, you know, there's all sorts of people that'd be great to get their input to your plan, or you need their buy-in to implement the plan. So what you do is you just summarize from each of the sections above, and we give you the little map here to do that. The key parts, so you can tell the story. So your values as a business. Let me tell you about what's important to us in our business. Here's our values. Our long-term vision is this. Our goals from section 6.1. Summarize information about your customers. Where do they come from? What's their source markets? All of this is sitting above in the plan. Your target markets. What do they look like? Might be, I have a persona of Emily, who is 21 years of age, who blah, blah, blah. So summarising your ideal customers, and that all comes from 3.1 and 3.2, listing your partners, in a sentence or two, defining the value to your customers, and then what are your top priority actions and activities. And then you have a plan on a page to be able to pin up on the wall, talk to people about. So because once you've done that business planning process, it's not the type of thing you constantly go back to. And that's when you get that sense of, oh, I did that plan, but I'm not really using it. However, if you've got these things sitting on one piece of paper, it makes it a lot easier to be able to refer to it and put it up on the wall in front of you. Your ideas. Awesome. You're all there helping each other. I love it. Okay. Use your courses. Got them until the end of June, and we'll email you with some other information as well.